I could tell.
The 90s was an exciting time if you were a sci-fi geek. I count myself amongst this population and enjoyed watching such shows as Babylon 5, V, or reruns of the original Battlestar Galactica, but my favourite universe of choice was the one occupied by Star Trek. Whether this was having trouble with tribbles, fighting the Borg at Wolf 359, protecting Deep Space Nine from invaders coming out of the wormhole, or being trapped in the Delta Quadrant aboard the USS Voyager, I was engrossed in all things Starfleet. This included the software offerings at the time, both gaming and educational wise, or as it was termed, edutainment. In the mid-90s, this was a time before the internet became the knowledge powerhouse it is today, and speeds to access it were still averaging around 56k, especially here in the UK. Any hope of using the internet to watch videos or play media files bigger than 5 megabytes was still quite a pipe dream, unless you were one of the lucky ones to have ADSL. To this end, a lot of companies released interactive entertainment packages on CD-ROM for the PC, and Windows 95 in particular. Encyclopedias such as Microsoft Encarta and Crompton's were commonplace in the mid-90s. To gain a piece of this market, other publishers started releasing CD-ROMs based on other things apart from general knowledge. Two of these were Star Trek Encyclopedia, an interactive encyclopedia that covered all things Star Trek, from the original series to Voyager and a few of the films, and the software I am looking at today called Star Trek Captain's Chair, which is a virtual tour of the bridges of 5 of the most well-known starships in the Starfleet universe. This was produced by Simon & Schuster, released in December 1997 and came on CD. The menu system, once loaded up into Windows 95, simulates the LCAR system, utilised on most of the Star Trek vessels in the Next Generation era onwards. The voice is provided by Majel Barrett, the wife of the creator of Star Trek Gene Roddenberry, as in the TV shows. You are given 5 different bridges to explore in a kind of 3D video environment powered by Apple QuickTime, which is installed when installing the program. The 5 bridges are the USS Enterprise NCC 1701, 1701D, and the latest 1701E, the USS Defiant, and the USS Voyager. Once you enter the main bridge of the selected vessel, you are free to roam about using the mouse to control free movement, or by clicking on the buttons on the screen. Every workstation you see can be interacted with by clicking the mouse button on the said panels. Have you always wanted to see what exactly Spock was looking at down the visor tube? Well, here you go. Or have you wanted to fire phasers on board the Enterprise D, like Worf? Target phasers, fire. All the main areas are covered, such as the Commander's Chair, the Engineering Station, the Con, and Ops and Tactical. Once at all these stations, the majority of the time you can click on the screens to activate or interact with them. On most of the bridges you can also access other things like the food replicators, and even go into other locations such as the Captain's Ready Room and Observation Lounge. There are also various messages left about on logs from captains such as Janeway, Sisko, and other members of the crew like Riker, all done with the original actors who played said parts. In the 90s I was amazed at how smooth this ran on my Pentium 133, and what I could do even though it's all predetermined, with the same clip being played every time you clicked on a panel. But it felt like you were almost there, or at least as close as you were ever going to get to it. And even playing it today 24 years later, it still gives you a small buzz around this, and more of a nostalgia of shows that have long since ended. The 3D effect for its time was really good, and it did feel like you were walking around the actual bridge and not a studio set. Being able to look back from the view screen towards the captain's chair, and seeing the flashing panels behind them did give you a real feel for what it would have looked like. The mid-90s were definitely an experimental time in interactive software, especially in the PC arena, but I am glad that it was. I'm glad that I got the chance to experience these little software gems. Warp 1. Engage.